had originally planned to do the Bible study delivery with someone else who had been to Dr. Schultz's presentation, but out of the blue her calendar started filling up, and then there was an illness in the family, and it just looked like it would just be too much on her plate. So I knew I would need to find somebody else to do this, because they had recommended, Dr. Schultz recommended that we go 2 by 2, which obviously has worked for the last 2,000 years. And a few Sabbaths later, Carolyn had set up a table at church, and she had all these packets for the Bible studies, and what she had done was, the packets were set by zip code, she said, so it'd be easy for the people who were doing the volunteer work. But, she goes, I have these 3 kind of leftover wild cards that they don't really fit in anywhere, and would you be willing to take these? And Carolyn knows me well enough to know I love the wild card stuff. I think the better stories are there. I think the better experiences are there. So I said, absolutely. But I still needed somebody to come with me. So I prayed about it that afternoon. The only name that came up was Dee Dee. The only one. And so I gave her a call, and I didn't want to just say, hey Dee Dee, how about, coming out and knocking on doors of people you don't know with me? Where does the line start for that? So, and she didn't get to go to Dr. Schultz's presentation. So I was telling her, it's just so easy. It's just so non-threatening for us. It's non-threatening for the people that we're going to talk to, and I'll do everything, Dee Dee, I'll do everything. I'll hold the little card with their name on it, I'll hold the Bible study, I'll drive, I'll do all the talking. You just basically are along for the ride, okay? And of course she's going, of course that's okay, I'd love to come. So off we go. And the first 2 places that we stopped were pretty textbook. They were exactly like what Dr. Schultz says would happen. Hi, is so-and-so here. Here's the Bible study you requested. Hope you enjoy it. We'll see you next week. And we leave, and they're like, wow, great, bye, bye. Turned out perfect. And then we get to the 3rd house. And we walk up, and I'm standing there at the door, and Dee Dee's just a little bit off to the side, and I've got the card in one hand, and I've got the Bible study in the other hand, and we knock on the door, and it opens, and an older man looks out, and I go, hi, is so-and-so home? And he just looked at me. And so I repeated myself. I said, hi, is, and I looked again at the card just to make sure I say it right. I said, is so-and-so home? And then he kind of made like he was going to speak, and then it was obvious that he was deaf. And I must have got that deer in the headlights look, and I really didn't know what to do. And I laughed because I think I probably did what most people would do in a situation, in like a mini crisis with a deaf person. You just keep talking, hoping that miraculously they'll understand what you're saying. So here I am just yammering, and I'm realizing this guy is not looking at me anymore. He's actually looking kind of over my shoulder and off to the side. And so I'm blabbing, and I look over, and here's Dee Dee, signing everything that I'm saying. And it was just amazing to me. And I just kind of sat back and watched her and thought, who's along for the ride now? And it was just great. Go ahead and tell him.
Well, I used to be an interpreter a long time ago, and when you meet a deaf person, you just sign. So I didn't even think about it. I just signed what she said, Bible study for this person. And then he got it.
And what's really remarkable about this is the next week we finally met the person who had requested the Bible studies, and she had told us that was her uncle that lives with her. Her mother also lives with her, and she's deaf as well. So in the subsequent weeks that we visited, Dee Dee had a chance to talk with the mother, and again to talk with the uncle, and like I said, I'm just watching this whole thing transpire, and I really think that Candy, the lady who had requested the Bible study, really appreciated the fact that Dee Dee was able to communicate with her mom and her uncle, and it made me start to wonder, just what is that like for somebody who's deaf, that you can't communicate with almost 100% of the population, and what do? Every time somebody knocks on the door, you almost open it with trepidation going, oh, now I'm gonna have to explain why I can't communicate with them, and especially a total stranger. And then here's Dee Dee that just can right away communicate with them. And I was so amazed that all the times that we've been to see them and they open the door and, you know, they look at me and then they look over at Dee Dee and she probably does hello. I don't know how that is. You're gonna have to teach me how to say hello. Yeah, there you go. And their faces just light up. I mean, they're completely different people. And I'm just so astounded at when I think about, when I try to unravel this whole picture and what God had to do to get this woman to that door, and, you know, taking away who I was originally going to go with. Carolyn has this card that just doesn't fit in anywhere. It's just amazing to me. And then Dee Dee had to have the availability. She had to have the desire to go. And then we always seemed to knock on the door exactly at the time that the lady who wanted the studies was not there, but the mom and the uncle were there. And the one time that I went by myself, because Dee Dee was on vacation, that's when I saw the daughter again. So we had a little conversation. It's just amazing to me. And I was telling Dee Dee, I've been praying about divine appointments for about a year now. And I've had them, and they're just amazing. But now I'm praying for other people's divine appointments. And not just for their divine appointments, but that I'll be a part of their appointment and that I'll know I'm a part of that appointment. Because Dee Dee's not going to tell you this story because she doesn't see her importance in it at all. I do, and I'm the storyteller, so that's obviously why I'm doing all the talking here. But it's just amazing to me because it just goes to show you that this was her appointment. This really has nothing to do with me. This was all her appointment. God just let me drive the car.